this shit. Tell them crackers I bleed the fifth. Bring that fire like Prometheus. I ain't tripping off that measly shit. Debba keep the fifth. Malak just got some bullets they heat seeking shit.
Yo, sister, let me talk to you real quick.
That's right.
All praises. How you guys doing? You might step up, 'cause I want to be able to talk to you guys. Cool. What's your name? Lily. What's your name? Paris. All praises. You guys have heard of this before? Yeah. What do you know about it?
God of kings, God of warriors.
What about you?
What about me? I'm a queen.
Princess. You know what the word queen means? It goes back to literally mean a whore. Right? Israel didn't have no queens. Right? There was Israelite women that were queens, but other nations. But in Israel, we didn't have no queens. We had princesses. Right? So and it goes back to like certain meanings of words that we just don't know what it goes back to. Right? You're not gonna sit there and call yourself that, right? But you are, like you said, we're kings. You're royalty too. You're a princess, right? That little man right here, that's the king, right? Yeah, and you said you wanted a picture with us. I just wanted to, okay, I'll praise it. We can get to that. I just want to make sure that you actually know what's actually going on. You know what I mean? So you said that you knew about us being kings. We're warriors. You said, right? What else you know?
God's chosen people.
Why you keep? Yeah, I was gonna say, why you keep saying you, right? We, right? Where's your dad from? From Oakland? What's his nationality? He's Indian. Like what kind of Indian? Choctaw Indian. Okay, like from out there, Oklahoma, Florida, from where? From Oklahoma. So you would most likely be, where's that at? That's a Reubenite, right? Give me that in Deuteronomy 33. See, and here's the thing, and so we'll establish that first. You got that? Get 6.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 6. Let Reuben live and not die, and let not his men be few.
Right, and see, and here's the thing, you won't really hear that much of the Seminoles, right? Because it says, let them not, read that again?
Let Reuben live and not die.
Because see, the Seminole War, that's supposed to be a war that's even still going on to this day. It's a war that never even finished, right? It's the most expensive war that's been for the United States, right? Because the same thing with the Gadites, the same thing with every other native that you want to call, right? They made a signed treaty, say, okay, we're done, but what did they do, right? They went back on their word and they went and killed them, right? They pushed you guys to reservations, now you got this little bit, a lot of land now, right? So it says, let Reuben live, even though they be few. The Reubenites fought back like crazy, right? They used that guerrilla warfare. The white man didn't know what to do with the Reubenites, with the Seminoles, with your people, right? That's some real warriors right there. Book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 12, verse 37. And on the other side of the Jordan, of the Reubenites, and of the Gadites, and of the half-tribe of Manasseh, was all the manner of instruments of war for battle, and 120,000. Right, so it's all manners of instruments of war, man. That's the real warriors right there, right? Here, get this. Book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 5, verse 18. The sons of Reuben and the Gadites, which would be what we call the Native Americans today, right? And the half-tribe of Manasseh, of the valiant men able to bear buckle and sword, and shoot with bow, and skillful in war, were 40,703 score that went out into war. That's just a whole bunch. So that's the thing. They were riding on that, right? They had to be able to shoot bow, hold the buckler. That's the Seminoles, right? You guys are the warrior tribes. So what else do you know, sister? So you know you descend from royalty, pretty much, right? And there's go to. So So you descend from royalty, but see, here's the thing. Just knowing that in itself, just knowing that in itself is a good start, right? Because now you you know where to start. But there's things that that are required of you now, right? So okay, go ahead. Because you're an Israelite, right? The Reubenites are a tribe, are one of the sons of Israel, right? There's 12 tribes, right?
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12. And now, Israel, what doeth the Lord require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, and to walk in all his ways, and to love him.
How do you love God?
I love myself and I love other people that don't love me.
Okay.
That's how I love.
Okay, we can touch on that as well, right? But specifically, the Bible tells you how you love God, right? Because the thing is this, the word hab in Hebrew, the word for love, it goes back to meaning it's an action. It's not just you saying it, right? Same thing with like a lot of people, right? How they say words are words, but you got to show me that you love me, right? So how do you show God that you love him?
I don't know, just keeping the peace, doing some of his acts, helping.
Okay, doing what acts?
Helping, keeping the peace. I don't know.
Okay. So I'll touch on that. Go ahead and read that.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
So you show God you love him by keeping the commandments, right? So here's we can go in those as well, but I want to touch on something that you said, right? You said keeping the peace, right? The Reubenites, the Seminoles, try to keep peace when the Caucasians came over here, when the Spaniards came over here, right? Where did that leave them? Okay, see, and this is the reason why. We were influenced so much by religion, by getting the Bible pushed on us by the people who wanted it to benefit them, right? The white man's gonna sit there and say, you're supposed to love everybody while I rape, rob, and murder your people, right? But these commandments are supposed to be between us. If I love you, I'm not gonna steal from you, I'm not gonna rob from you or anything like that, right? Get that in Leviticus, where get it in the NLT though, because it says Israelites. See, go ahead.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 1 and verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
Right, so it's a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation, right? So if you're saying we're supposed to keep the peace, you have to acknowledge who it's supposed to be for, because we have this problem with so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans, the Israelites of the Bible, right, where we love other people when we're supposed to be loving us, right? We care so much about, you know what's going on right now in Russia? Right, so here's the thing. Everybody, pray for Russia, pray for Ukraine, pray for everybody but us, right? We're supposed to. What about us, right?
Yeah, me and my son. I'm
Exactly. So, like for example, the Asian stuff, the Asian hate bill got passed, right? 2-3 months of them getting racially profiled or whatever by other people, racially attacked. We've been going through that oppression for over 500 years, right? Where's our hate bill?
Where's our news?
Exactly.
There you
Okay,
go.
so check this out.
I gotta download this page.
Yeah, here, give me Numbers 15 and Leviticus 8. We're going to some of that, and then we'll get to that. For sure. All praises. You're good. I just want to harp on that point though, just to show you that it's supposed to be between us. Yeah.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17 and 18. Do not nurse hatred in your heart for any of your relatives.
For any of your relatives, go ahead.
Confront people directly, so you will not be held guilty for their sin.
Right, go ahead.
Verse 18. Do not seek revenge or bear a grudge.
So that's what you're saying. We're supposed to keep the peace, right? Go ahead.
Do not seek revenge nor bear a grudge against a fellow Israelite.
Against a fellow Israelite, right? Finish it off.
But love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord.
Right, so that's a commandment right there. Love your neighbor as yourself. But you say keep the peace. It's supposed to be between us, because as a whole, I'm not going to say you, but as a whole, the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans, we care so much about white people, right? And where did it leave us, right? If I sit here and preach this message to our people, you know, at the end of the talk, someone's going to be like, well, what about them? What about them? You know what I mean? They never cared about us, right? So here's the thing. To get in this predicament that we're in, we did the most as a people, right? And by saying we did the most means that we really didn't do anything. We did the opposite of what we're supposed to be doing, right? We're in this predicament as a whole because we didn't do none of the commandments, right? So how do we get out this predicament? if we're in this predicament because we didn't do the commandments, how do we get out of it, sister?
Keep the peace between our people.
Okay, that's a commandment. So we're supposed to keep the commandments, right? So let me show you some of the some commandments, right? So, for example, do you, food-wise, do you eat pork at all?
No.
You don't eat pork. Why not?
I eat bacon. I ain't gonna lie to you. I
So
eat
there's,
bacon.
there's lamb bacon, turkey bacon,
I know.
right? It don't necessarily have to be pork bacon. So that's a start, right? What about shrimp, crab, lobster? You eat that?
Oh, you see,
Why not?
it make my mouth ache.
Okay, see, exactly. See, you know why? Because we're royalty. That stuff don't belong in you,
Yeah.
right? The Asian man can sit there and eat whatever he wants, right? Don't even cook it, and it doesn't do anything for him. But for our people, it's high blood pressure, diabetes, all this stuff, right? Gout, stuff like that, right? Let's get numbers. And these commandments things, they're simple. Like how we said, none of the commandments are grievous. Nothing's hard about sitting there and saying, you know what, let me get some lamb bacon instead. Let me get some chicken tacos instead of some carnitas or something, right? But this is a big commandment, right?
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15 and verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they may put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
So these are these things, right? Because what does holy mean, sister? Holy means separate. You're different. You're apart from someone else, right? You Leviticus 20 and 26. Because us as a whole, yeah, we're separate. We're holy, right? So exactly. So you're gonna walk down the street and you're gonna see, man, what's up with these guys, right? Why are they dressed like that? Why are they wearing those things? Okay, exactly. So here's the thing, and these commandments are that light. And I mean, these laws that we're keeping is that light, right? Right. Leviticus 20 and 26. Hold that. Yeah. You got it? Okay, fine.
Book of Leviticus chapter 20 verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me,
You're supposed to be separate unto the God, right?
for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine.
So we're God's people. We're holy, right? We're separate from everybody else, right? And that's the important thing. Go back to Numbers. Yep. Come on.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15 and verse 38. 39. And it shall be unto you for a fringe,
So it's not just to wear it. It has its purpose, right?
that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye use to go a whoring.
Get the next verse.
Verse 40. That ye may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto your God.
Right, you're supposed to be holy unto our God. Everything has its purpose. The same reason why God tells us don't eat shrimp, crab, lobster, all these nasty foods, is because it's not good for you in general. Right? Same thing with pork. It's the most disgusting animal ever. Right? Everything has its purpose. These fringes have its purpose. Right? These are a commandment. So exactly, and you're supposed to. It's gonna keep you in check. For example, you're at a party, you're kicking it with your family or something. They give you some kind of food. I don't know, whatever it may be, X situation. But now you're sitting there. You got these fringes. You're gonna feel that choice to not do that no more. And I mean, I'm supposed to be different now. What difference does it make if I'm wearing these fringes and I'm still doing what I'm supposed to be doing? But these things are supposed to be so you keep you in check, right? What did you have?
Book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 13. Ye are the salt of the world, but if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted?
Right? And that's a little point right there. We're the salt of the earth. We give flavor to everything. That whether that be sports, whether that be food, any kind of culture. Everybody wants our culture. You go anywhere. You go to Asia. There's Asians pretending to be black. There's Asians pretending to be Chicanos out there. They never see no black or Chicanos out there, right? But they want to be us so bad, right?
It is therefore good for nothing, but to be cast out and trodden under the foot of men. Verse 14. Ye are the salt, ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
And same thing with what just happened, right? You see, man, these people over here, that light is shining over there, right? We're supposed to be that light. We're supposed to be giving everybody that example, right? Because eventually everybody's gonna be serving the Israelites, right? And everybody's serving God, right? But God has his people that are supposed to be that, like for example, those kings, right? Get that Revelations 5 and 10. I think it's 5 and 10. Right? Read that again.
Verse 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Verse 15. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and give it light unto all that are in the house.
Right? Exactly. You do these commandments, and it's not just for you. Now you're supposed to be teaching them your sons, your family, everybody, right? Because you want everybody to get that light. You want everybody to see that goodness, right?
Verse 16. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Right, exactly. So say you already knew about these fringes, right? You come out here, you're gonna see you're wearing your fringes, we're wearing our fringes. Hey man, shalom, brother, peace unto you. We're those people. You know what I mean? See, and verse 10.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 5 and verse 10. And has made us unto our God kings and priests.
And that's little parish right there, right? Kings and priests, right? Go ahead.
And we shall reign on the earth.
And one day everything's gonna be subject to the Israelites. That's what we're out here teaching our people what we're supposed to do to get out of this. Because what religion taught us, what the church has taught us, is what's keeping us in this predicament we're in, right?
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
So now you know this truth, right? Now you know, like I said, now there's things that are required of you. So do those things, right? Teach those, get that, and get Deuteronomy 4, I think it's that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 10. Especially the day that thou stood. Verse 9.
I'll read a couple more for you, a couple more.
Only take heed to thyself, and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen.
Right, so now you're supposed to keep your soul diligently, right? Sister, yo, brother. Yo, I'm trying to lace the sister up. That way I want to focus on what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
The young brother trying to leave.
Oh, okay, Con. So I'll give you a few more verses because I know how things can be, right? Impatient with the kid. Let's see.
Okay. Titus 3 and 3. For we ourselves were sometimes foolish, disobedient. Verse 2.
Chapter 2, verse 3.
Titus chapter 2 verse 3. The aged women likewise they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, and to love their children.
Right, and there's things that are supposed to be, these things are for you, right? Even other sisters, right? You're supposed to be teaching your sisters this, right? How to be those loving women, right? How to raise up your kids, right? Because sometimes as women, they don't really even care about that, right? You still care about yourself. So and it's great that you have parents out here, and it'd be great to have this motivation, right? So what about the father? Where's the father at?
His dad's incarcerated.
Incarcerated? Okay, here, get Deuteronomy 28. Get that. All right, okay. Yeah. And that's how we know. And what's and the what's the father? What's his nationality?
Black.
He's black, so like African American from here.
Yeah, he's African.
Okay. Little Judite, man. This is how we know we're those people.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore.
Right? It says they're all snared, right? That's even that you can even equivalent that to being in the trap. Or they say we're always in the trap. We're trapping. We're this and that, right? But it also says we're in the prison house, right? And you said that the baby's father is in prison, right? Get Isaiah 61.
1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 9. In the like manner also women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefastness and sobriety, not with broidered hair, gold or pearls or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works.
Right, see, and that's how you're supposed to be doing it. You're supposed to be doing not just how you dress and everything, but also with your good works, right? Being that woman that other women can look up to, right? That they can learn from. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, just start that. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 61 from the top. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek.
This message is for the meek, right?
He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound.
And not just physical prisons, right? Also mental prisons, right? Because our people here suffer from so much oppression that it even gets passed down to the next generation, right? You're living in that prison not just in the physical, but also spiritually, right? And that's what all of this comes down to. Now it's up to you, right? Teach your son the way he's supposed to be walking, right? And with that, you're teaching yourself, you're learning yourself, and hopefully you can teach other sisters like that, right? And bring them into this, because that's what it's all about. This is how we get out of this, right?